Welcome to the Hookup on Music with your host, Tony Bird.
Welcome, everybody. How are you doing today? I hope you had a good holiday season, a good Christmas, a good whatever you are celebrating, and you are in good spirits. You listen to a lot of good music, a lot of good Christmas jams, hopefully. But sadly, we are beyond Christmas now, and we are in that middle zone between the new year, 2025, and what we've been doing in 2024. So here we are, episode 99. Um, in the new year, it'll be episode 100. But my name is Tony, and as always, I am bringing you some goodies, some this, some that, some reformatting. We have tonight some new intros, some this, some that. I'm just excited to be here, as always, sharing some of this with you. Also going to share with you really quick. I'm sure everyone else out there, if you have Spotify or you have a Spotify Wrapped and you have shared that, please share it with us. Curious to see what you listened to this year. Our top 5 artists that we listen to down here at the Hookup on Music, which again, 99 episodes. That's pretty cool. But what we have been listening to all year long, our top artist, no surprise, at number 1, Primus. Wow. Wasn't no shock there. 2, a little shocking, is Metallica. Guess I listened to a lot more Metallica this year than I thought. 3, Van Halen. I was stuck on a couple Sammy era songs this year. I know that for a fact. Played them a lot. Sepultura at 4. That was my lawn cutting jam. And of course, Ministry. I played the song Lava more than most. But it's kind of cool to go and see sometimes what you have in your wrapped or what has been wrapped all together in your, well, for a gift or for altogether just uh what you've been listening to. And this is the first year I've actually done the Wrapped. It's actually the first year I was a part of Spotify. So and I find it to be very convenient, putting together playlists and sending people songs. It's very exciting. It's very awesome. It's always cool to hear what you have. So, like I stated, if you have a Wrapped or you have a specific song that you feel like you've listened to more than other songs, please share that with us. We would love, 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 love to hear you share that with us. But let's go on. Let's go on now to our brand new segment. We have been doing new releases, new artists, but now we're going to present it like in a segment with a little video and all of that. And we're going to be doing this every single week. It may be a new release that's coming out. It may be a new artist that we've heard. We're willing to share it with you. Let's see what we got tonight. Tonight, we got a little band called Dogs in a Pile, brought to us by one of our fellow Penguins, Mr. Luke. Was very, very awesome to share this with me because right off the gate, I was able to find some really, really good stuff with these guys, including an awesome performance of Breakdown Palace. Very, 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 very vocally right there in the little clip I played you, but a lot of good players in this band. A couple guitar slingers in Jimmy Law and Brian Murray, drums by Joey Babick, bass by Sam Lucid, and Jeremy Kaplan on guitar. Everyone sings in the band besides the drummer, which is always really cool to hear. But just an overall good sound for a jam band, a sound that was a little surprised to hear because generally I'm onto this type of stuff, but I started digging into something called Doggy Bag Volume 2, their latest release, a live album, which honestly was a really good indication of who they were. Their album Bloom from 2023 Also, we've been taking a little bit of listening to songs like Ben Strange and Fenway and Hesitate. So if you have not checked out Bloom by Dogs in a Pile, check that out. But if you're looking for more of their live sound, Doggy Bag is a really good indication with the kickoff with Blues for Brian is just a really, really good tune. Also is a really good some good covers on here, including Help on the Way slash Slipknot, which seems to be a lot of people are playing these days. Goose plays that one. But again, cool to hear Dogs um, in a pile because generally, you're looking for a new band, and this band who merges funk, jazz, and rock with a little psychedelia, an original vibe altogether. Definitely unique. Okay, you may say, "Oh, jam bands all sound the same." They all got a little bit something different to them. Dogs in a Pile, really, really is no exception to sounding different. From the New Jersey shores, they were formed, balancing some really, really good youthfulness mixed in with the mosaics, instrumentation, and humble, just all around presentation of their music is what makes them alluring to try to listen to. Um, Always digging into new territories, which again is what you look for a new artist, looking for new territories, new tracks, new songs. Um, Digging even deeper, Not Your Average Beagle, which is just a great, great album title. And on top of a great album title, it's also just an all around great, phew, what's the word I'm looking for? Just a great sound. So check that out. Please, please do. If you're looking online now, the band for me, that I would deem to be the band of the year, for myself would be a little band that I just tuned into this year called Red Clay Strays. Um, this song Drowning, off of the Made by These Moments album. I probably that was also on my, Wrapped list of a song that I probably played quite a lot, which is, always awesome to play. But again, if you're looking for something that was good and unique this year, Made by These Moments, came out in July, is not going to, be very, very disappointing to you. Also, if you do have, a streaming service, and you get to sit there and you get to see some of the new stuff that comes out. The Live at the Ryman album that they put out recently was really, 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 really good. Another band that really brings an excellent, excellent live feel to everything that they are presenting out in the open. You know what I mean? Last week we were talking about a lot of that with Mike, who, if you have not listened to last week's episode, please go back and listen to that. That was a very, 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 very indulging conversation, which you got to hear some of the classics that came out this year, including that new Cure. If you haven't listened to that yet, please go ahead and take some time and dig into that because you are not going to want to be disappointed by that. Neither will you with the Red Clay Strays. Just an all around band that I think sound really, really, really good. And on top of sounding really, really, really good, Brandon Coleman's voice. Wow. You're looking for something good. You're looking for something really cool. I don't think you're going to be too disappointed when you dig into that at all. Quite at all. Just like recently, they have released the Elton John documentary, Never Too Late. I believe it is streaming on Disney. So if you do have Disney Plus, you could check it out. I don't know if you're a fan of Elton John. I'm a big fan of his deep cuts. Axl Rose is one of his favorite artists, which you wouldn't think of that sometimes, and I don't know why that always comes to my brain. But I'm gonna, Elton John got really deep on this documentary. Really cool performances, never seen before. Excellent introduction to his band too. A couple players that have been around for quite a long time. Dee Murray has a excellent guitar player. If you have not heard him, talks a lot on this documentary. You see him and his playing on there. It's the ups and the downs. It's your usual documentary, your usual fare. But again, um, Elton in the '70s was almost unstoppable. Goodbye Yellow Brick Road, Don't Shoot Me, I'm Only the Piano Player, Honky Chateau, Honky Cat, such a great song. I remember my buddy, his father passed away, and his nickname when he was in the service was Honky Cat in Vietnam War. So that song was playing at the funeral. Thought that was really cool. But again, this is just us giving a two thumbs up for this new Elton John documentary because if you have not been able to take some time and dig into that, um, you're going to want to do that because hearing these stories from firsthand, recently it has come out that sadly it has been put to the front that Elton is losing his eyesight altogether. So again, that tour he last did, I'm sure if he came through a couple times. If you did not get to check that out, it would have definitely done you good to do so. So here we are tonight. We are going to do something a little bit different and we're going to introduce every week an artist, one band that we're going to bring you the goods on, and let's see what we got. No, it's not Elton John because we just talked about him. It is somebody Elton John is friends with, and that is the Faces, a band that has quite the plethora of players. Ronnie Lane, Ian McLaughlin, Kenny Jones, Rod Stewart, and Ronnie Wood made up this band that was put together in '69 after the members of the Small Faces, Marriott, McLaughlin, and Lane and Jones, all decided to put together a new band, and they recruited Ronnie Wood and Rod Stewart from the Jeff Beck group into this new renamed lineup, and just got rid of the Small and called them Faces. And boy, really unique arrangement when you think about it, when you really dig into maybe some of Rod Stewart's other work to say, uh, wow, I'm glad this was brought to us because honestly, when these guys got down and jammed, there wasn't much that they missed on. Funky, downright dirty, great musicianship from this band. When you look at it though, weren't around very much. 4 albums. First Step, Long Player. We'll get to A Nod Is As Good As a Wink to a Blind Horse, and Ooh La La. But when you think of Ronnie Wood, you think of him as the current lead guitar player for the Stones. When the Faces kind of moved on, he got to move on to something a little bit more, well, even dirtier than, or just as dirty as the Faces, the Stones. So again, when you dig into Rod Stewart's voices during this time period, you get started with that first album. Um, a song that I always really think of is Flying, which if you have not really checked that one out, I would do so. It's really good. The album kicks off with a Dylan cover, Wicked Messenger, which is again cool to hear a band like a down and bluesy band because that's exactly what the Faces are. A lot of your Black Crows, um, honestly, a lot of your punk rock bands such as The Damned, likened to them as a uh influence, which when you look to it and you think about it, I mean, influences come in so many shapes and varieties. The band though itself was just marred with lots and lots of drinking, which I don't know if that made them better. It sure I just have to sometimes think about the drinking with some of these guys. I think uh could have been avoided, didn't need to happen as much, and maybe they would have put out a little bit more work. The band has gotten together a little bit here and a little bit there. they do state that they're together right now, but sadly, Ronnie Lane, who was an excellent songwriter, who wrote many of the Small Faces hits, along with Faces and along with made some albums and played with some really great players, but, sadly got MS, and, sadly, that kind of, put the word I'm looking for is, the kaput on a full Faces Ever reunion, but, just a real talented guy, just really cool. um there are lots of really cool, memorials to him, written as songs. Paul Weller does a "He's the Keeper," a great song dedicated, to Lane, sadly, who passed away at just such a young age. 51 is just way too young, but again, his inspiration and his bass playing and his backing vocals really make, the Small Faces something to dig a little bit deeper in. If you by chance are watching, online, you can just see some of their, outfits are really cool. Um, Also what was cool is that, Kenny Jones took the stool after, Mr. Kenny, Keith Moon passed away, and you say to yourself, "That's not no easy thing to do," and the It's Hard record, um is really good, and so is the Face Dances album. Really good stuff on there, but, going back to their work here, into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 2012, um, really kind of, puts, an interesting, thought process on all of it. Ronnie Wood was with Stewart for a while, as stated in the Beck Group, and they've gotten together a few times after that on Rod Stewart's Unplugged album. But going back to the quintessential time period of this, I like to think of songs that are deeper on some of these albums. Um, you know, a great album is that A Nod Is As Good As a Wink, is just a really good album. Honestly, the very, first, track on the album, um, which is Miss Judy's Farm, is just a rocker. You have heard Stay With Me, I know you have, but, mixed in is things like Too Bad, Debris, You're So Rude, That's All You Need, and overall, just a great album that you wish that they coulda just did a little bit more, because Rod Stewart goes off to have a very successful solo career that sounds nothing like, what some of the Faces, songs, sounded like, when they were, here together, which is just really just sometimes is an overall, sadness. But I guess if you wanna see Rod Stewart one last time, he is coming to town, this summer with Cheap Trick. I think it's a great pairing. I love Cheap Trick, but to see, Rod Stewart and Cheap Trick paired together for one night and one night only, you can't really beat that, and it says it's his last time. So, as stated with Elton John earlier, you may wanna dig into some of this, because if you don't, you're gonna miss out on some of um these amazing artists that, could be coming by for the last time. Um, but, that's where we find ourselves today. Some great artists are wrapping it up, but there's a lot of new artists like, Dogs in a Pile that are putting out new music that hopefully can transcend and, keep transcending until, well, till the end of time. Let's get to our next segment here, which, you're gonna enjoy. Concerts, always a concert to talk about, always something to dig into. Let's dig into the Smashing Pumpkins, who, got to play a little bit of a gig, um, recently. Um, but, that's that's just the way it is. Sometimes there's a lot of good concerts coming. We happen to be there. Um But let's talk about the one that we are going to dig into tonight, and that is the most recent concert of the Smashing Pumpkins variety that happened at the Aragon Ballroom for the Twisted Christmas concert series that I was talking to you about. And if you happen to um, check into that and happen to see some of these songs that they happen to play, everything from Jellyfish to Bullet with Butterfly Wings, which we all know out there is just a great song. The world is a That's some footage from that Aragon Ballroom show. So if you've never been to the Aragon Ballroom and you say to yourself, seeing Ziggy Stardust cover by the Pumpkins into Chirp Rock and Zero, that wouldn't be too shabby. And for a band again in the '90s who are still putting out what I think to be what's the word I'm looking for? Quality work. Um, you're not going to be very, very, very disappointed. All year long there have been really, really cool concerts. Not this year, but in years past, concerts like coming to small little venues, doing Wilco. Uh, they did a little pop-up concert. You're not expecting to see the Pumpkins in the Aragon Ballroom. You're thinking you're always going to see them at like a bigger venue. So to catch that concert there is really, really cool. Just like I know Creed is coming to town again. Okay. Um, but again, if you got to see Creed at Aragon Ballroom, it would be a lot better than seeing Creed at Tinley Park. So the '90s are is what's the word I'm looking for? Is the time period to sometimes go back, and the Pumpkins are putting on quality shows like they did at the Aragon Ballroom. So get the soundboard, or if you want to check out more of that little live performance, I did go back to the go back to the YouTube and check out some of those performances because they are really, 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 really good. Also brings up an interesting point. Not as cold as it usually is outside right now. Usually it could be in the tens and the fives and the 15s. And sometimes you'll go to these concerts and you get really, 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 really hot. So what do? For me, I get excited to think about the stepping outside into that cold air and letting that like steam off of your forehead. But you know, what's the word I'm looking for? That isn't happening too much right now. And sometimes I want to go to a concert just so I could get that experience right there. The hot to cold, that feeling like you may just get sick, but you're not going to get sick. You know why? Because you are just all around the word I'm looking for, doing what you're supposed to, which is cooling off from a hot concert. But cool concerts, really wanted to bring that up. A um, big fan of those. Quite a lot. A big fan of those a lot. So come back, cold weather, please, 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 please come back and let us experience some of that coldness so we could get to some of these concerts because as stated before, if you are interested, down at the Hard Rock Casino, Gary, Indiana, which is shocking, Filters playing a free show on New Year's Eve, free to all of those that are coming down and experiencing that. Um, but I'd say if you got the opportunity, go see it, go see them. Hopefully, it's gonna get cold. Hopefully, we could talk about some cold concerts coming up. The Pumpkins, it was hot, and then you came outside and it was cool. Not as quite as cold as you would like it to be. Even give us a little bit of a breeze, but you know, let us hit our sweet spot here, which is the song of the week. Sonic Youth, the Diamond Sea. Quite the piece. Quite the piece. But if you haven't heard it yet, I think it's time that you dig in. Just a long track by Sonic Youth, released in 1995. And honestly, uh, just a really, really good guitar the guitar riff. It really, really gets me because I just heard it for the first time recently. And honestly, it just shows sometimes how music can slip by you, slip under the quote unquote plethoras of what you're wanting to listen to. And honestly, these lyrics are great. Time takes its crazy toll, and how does your mirror grow? You better watch yourself. You jump into it because the mirror's going to steal your soul. Um, I don't think lyrics get much cooler than that. And Sonic Youth is bringing it on the Diamond Sea. The single cover, if you're looking online, I like the way the letters from the black and the Sonic Youth to the red into the Diamond Sea are definitely something to behold. As is the performance of this song, which is just really, really great. If you get a chance to check out any of them. That pedal, I gotta find a pedal that does that and just walk around the house and go, "Wow, wow, 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 wow." I don't think people would be happy around here, but I am happy playing, The Diamond Sea by Sonic Youth and playing it over and over and over and over and over and over and over at loud, loud levels, because that's what it's meant to be played. It was off of the, Washing Machine album, which came out September 26th, 1995. Um, Definitely cool when your 20-minute ballad ends up the album, and if you think of it as a ballad, but it is sung by, Thurston Moore, and honestly, I was not expecting this, jam, and recently, WXRT did a giveaway on Thursdays with Diamond, and they included this song because it had Diamond in the title, and I'm glad they did because Lee Ranaldo, Kim Gordon, Steve Shelley, and Thurston Moore, brought it on this one, and I remember seeing the album and the album cover quite a lot, but just never dug deeper into it, which is the darn shame about it all is that you need to dig deeper. And that's why here with these tracks of the week, that's what we're always hoping to do. Um, in the US Billboard Top 200 chart, it did go all the way to 58, which was very good for the Washing Machine album. Um, uh, right around this time is when they concluded their stint headlining the Lollapalooza Festival, which again was a huge, huge move for them to be able to headline this. Um, you know, Diamond Sea though, longest Sonic Youth track, which is again no strong feat when it's 20 minutes. It's that's huge. It's a huge strong feat. A huge. And if you have not listened to the Diamond Sea by Sonic Youth, I really think it is time that you do so. I think it is impeccable, imperable, invincible, unbearable if you don't. But again, just like tonight, let us know what your Spotify Wrapped is, if you are doing that, or if you're on, I don't know if Amazon Music does that. I don't know, Apple Music, whatever you have, let us know what you are listening to. We appreciate it here. Um, we appreciate it if you go back and listen to any of the 99 episodes. You could either listen to them here on YouTube. You can go ahead and listen to them wherever you listen to your podcasts at. And if they're not there, let us know and we will make sure that we get them there. That is our main goal, is to reach out and stretch out to some of those areas that you may not reach. If you missed this last week's the amazing at the show, we did Gremlins, which just had a great, great soundtrack by Jerry Goldsmith that I went into in depth, along with the Wayne's World soundtrack, which has lots and lots of classic cuts from Queen, Jimi Hendrix, Red Hot Chili Peppers, so many more. I'm just very excited to see what this new year is going to bring. What are we kind of going to introduce? As you've seen tonight, we've got some segments. We're going to keep those segments going. We're going to bring in guests, have their opinions on some of these segments. Tonight, we took a look at a band that got started in the 60s. The Faces really are a band that I think you would really enjoy if you dig into any of those 4 albums, just like Dogs in a Pile. Check out Elton John's documentary and start getting into some of his deeper cuts, because you're not going to regret it. The Diamond Sea, put that on for 20 minutes and chill, and you will definitely forget your troubles after a long week. That is the goal here on the Hookup on Music, is we are always here to give you a safeguard to listen to good music and share them with you, and we hope you will share them with us. My name is Tony. This is the Hookup on Music. Go back and check out all of that awesome stuff that we have on our YouTube channel, from It's Getting Drafty in here all the way to At the Show. Really good guys putting that music and product out. I said music. I wish we were all playing in a band together. I think that's what I always have on my head. They do great podcasts. We do them together. It's our joy. So thank you so much. Again, my name is Tony. This is the Hookup on Music. We will be joining you again soon, which will be our 100th episode. Cannot see and wait to see what that really brings or what that has in store. But I can promise you it's going to be a good time. So everyone out there, take care. Have an awesome New Year's Eve. Be safe. And we will definitely see you again on the other side.
Thank you for listening. Please look out for the audio version wherever you jam.